I hear what Kobe's saying. I don't know if I fully agree. Like, for one, 2 or 3, like if you go win 2 or 3 championships, like that 3 championships is about as much as a team will get in one run. If you want to say that the Bulls dynasty was one run, right? It was 2 runs. They had 2 runs of 3. The Lakers dynasty, so-called, of that era was Shaq and Kobe, and then it was Shaq and Powell. But these were Kobe and Powell.
It's all good.
Almost completely different teams, right? Like, who was on the first run outside of Kobe, who was also on the second run?
Derek Fisher.
Right, Fisher, and yeah, like Walton got there for the end of the first run, but he wasn't part of the championship.
Right.
So that doesn't really, okay, what other dynasties? Well, you could talk about the Spurs, and yeah, they were homegrown and they did it through the draft. And I think anytime you try to model and say, let's do what the Spurs did, you're pretty much like going to fail, because no one has done what the Spurs have done. We're seeing Stan Van Gundy's out. I think him getting the job as president of basketball operations, or whatever his title was, and coach, is kind of a throwback to what Popovich was for a while. Even Popovich stepped down from that, where he's got R.C. Buford, but for a while he was the top decision maker, and he's still a major decision maker in that organization, but he's not that guy anymore, and that's for the better. And like, a lot of teams have tried to do it the way the Spurs have done and have failed, almost everybody. So you look at the Warriors, and yeah, they got together a bunch of young players, and they just brought in Andrew Bogut as like, and a few other like little things to push them over the top, which was a big part of it. They win that first title, they get a very lucky run where everyone's hurt. The second year, they don't win because, yeah, there were injuries. Yeah, Draymond Green had this, the issues with the flagrant fouls, and the Cavs were without Kevin Love, I believe, right? But they had Kyrie Irving.
No, the Cavs had essentially a healthy roster that year. It was the first year when LeBron came back in 2015, when they didn't have Kevin Love.
But in the finals, which was the one where he hurt where Kelly Olynyk threw out his shoulder?
That was 2015, which was
Was that the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so they couldn't. So then, to beat the Cavs, the next year they go ahead and take advantage of a loophole that was created by the Players Union, and something that we discussed. And if you want to listen to the Larry Kuhn episode of Hollywood Hoops, which is probably 2 months ago, month and a half, he breaks it down, and I've discussed it as well, that the union rejected cap smoothing, which is a topic we're not going to get into. That opened the door for this anomaly of 2016, which basically has thrown off the entire NBA for a few years. So, like, to Kobe's point, yeah, do that and then take advantage of a one-time loophole to get the best, one of the top 5 players in basketball, and then you're set with a dynasty. So where are these dynasties that have gone for more than 2 or 3 championships? And then let's look at the other side of it. How many times have you had like a great young group of young players who don't get past that point? Like, you can go back to the Clippers of old when they had Lamar and Darius Miles and Q Rich. You can go more recently. In the case of the Timberwolves, they did nothing forever when they had Kevin Love. They finally got Jimmy Butler. So basically they went and traded for a big name. You go team by team. And
even Oklahoma City, when they had Harden and Westbrook and Durant and Ibaka.
Yeah, where's that dynasty?
Yeah.
But to Kobe's point, why didn't they keep it together? Well, that, like, if his argument would be, well, they should have kept that group together. Maybe so. But at the same time, there were financial implications, and yeah, they probably should have. But you look at like what happened in Miami, right? 3 superstars got together. Depends on your definition of superstars, where I think Bosh was close to that. Even if it was 2 superstars and a heck of a player, a really good all-star in Bosh. And that Miami was as close to a dynasty as we were going to, again, they didn't, how many did they win, right? Not that many.
2, but they went to 4 finals.
Right.
It's a great run.
And then this Cavs team, it's the dynasty is wherever LeBron James is.
Yep.
Right. So that's a 1-person dynasty. And that kind of just goes to show that, like, the running thread through almost all of this is that, like, Tim Duncan for a while was arguably the best player in the league, or one of them. Kobe Bryant was arguably the best player in the league, or one of them. Shaquille O'Neal, same. Pau Gasol, maybe top 7 or 10, maybe not top 1 or 2. And then LeBron, and we can go through, and I'm sure if we go further, Michael, Hakeem, Magic, the Celtics with Larry Bird, Even the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas, although that was maybe a better example of a team. So I don't know if I agree with that concept. And I have a lot of Laker fans who are hitting me up on Twitter. Yeah, they should keep this group together. And I mean, sure, but and I think I used the analogy before. It's kind of betting on an inside straight. It's like if you know poker, sometimes you hit on an inside straight, and that's great. But a straight isn't even the best thing to get, and you're more likely than not to not get it. So is Lonzo Ball going to suddenly thrust himself into an upper stratosphere where he can run a half-court offense? Because to date, his half-court offense ability isn't as good. We saw when Isaiah Thomas came in, suddenly they could run a pick and roll, attacking the basket in a way they can't with Lonzo. That's not to criticize Lonzo. There's a ton of things he does really well.
Yeah,
but he can't shoot.
20, so he'll get better.
And he can't shoot free throws yet. And he's a good spot-up shooter, is what we've seen. Not 100% great, but good. But he can't score off the dribble yet. Kyle Kuzma, absolutely tremendous, but he's coming in a little bit older. So does he have a tremendous room to grow, or is he kind of what he is now, which is great? Does he stay what he is and maybe get 20% better, whereas Lonzo at 20 might get like 80% better or 40% better? Does these guys stay healthy? Because you have to pay Ingram soon. You have to pay, after that, you have to pay Randall now if you want to keep Randall. And quickly the money dries up and you're locked in to this team. And then you become reliant on hoping that you can get an Andrew Bogut to push you over the top. But then that's not enough. So now you need this loophole to get KD that's not going to come for the Lakers. So I hear what he's saying in that you can get excited about the young talent and that they should really groom them and you shouldn't sacrifice them if you can avoid it. But at the same time, if you can get LeBron James, if you can get Kawhi Leonard, if you can get Paul George, if you can go a different route and find other stars via trade, players, you need guys who are in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just to have a shot.
Are you hiring? Posting your position to job sites and waiting for the right people to see it?
ZipRecruiter knew that there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you.
ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job.
These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire.
In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day.
And ZipRecruiter does not stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive so you never miss a great match.
The right candidates are out there. ZipRecruiter is how you find them.
Businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs.
Right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free.
Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/LAEJ. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LAEJ. One more time, ZipRecruiter.com/LAEJ.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.